Welcome back. Hey, Technical Brad here. Today we are going to vent the fuel system. And the reason we're going to vent it is because, well, we've had it apart, and so we got to get the air out of it. Now I am using the David Brown AD3 Selectomatic instruction book. This is the manual that came with the tractor, and we have page 66 and 67. It tells us how to do it here. And so we go through it. The first thing you want to do is you want a minimum of 2 gallons of gas or diesel in the tank. And we've got about 2.5 going on 3. And then we check the bowl on our pump down here, make sure it's not leaking, which it's not. And then we're going to have to slacken or loosen some points on here. The first one is this bolt right here. This is in between our 2 filter canisters. We're going to loosen this one, and we're going to loosen this fitting down here with this union coming out. We're going to slacken it, and then we're going to pump this manually until we get fuel coming out of here. We're going to tighten that one, and then we're going to go to this one, and once we get air stop coming out of this one, we're going to tighten it. First thing I got to do is get a wrench. It's a 9/16, which it is, and so is that. So we have that. We have a nasty old rag here so that we can, we've got fuel running out there already, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to pump this. Until we get fuel coming out of it really good there. And we're going to tighten that up. One thing I want to do is put my container down there because we're getting quite a bit of fuel on the ground. So I'm doing this before I put my battery back on because in my case the battery goes right below it, and I don't want fuel to run out on my battery. So we'll loosen this one. And of course we have our gloves on to keep the fuel off of us. We really have to slacken this thing. And just nice slow movements on it. We don't need, you don't want to pump the crap out of it because you don't want to tear up the fuel pump. And just like that, we've got that done. Now remember, we took the filter pieces loose here, so we had quite a bit of air actually in our filter area there. And we'll tighten this down. Again, try to dry off as much fuel off of there as we can. Okay, man. Now, let's put the wrench down here. Need another towel. Dry off my hands. The next step is what they call plug J. Now by the drawing it looks like plug J is somewhere over here on the side. Plug J is actually around the back here. It's right here. And it is on your governor mechanism here, this bowl. And so we're going to loosen it up. Now it is a 5/16, which I had. And I have again. And we're going to come in here and we're going to loosen this up. Like so. Loosen that up. We're going to go ahead and pump this. We'll watch it until we get all the air out of it, which it looks like we already do. Tighten that back up. And then we'll tighten him up here, like so. And we'll kind of dry that off a little bit. It is quite a mess to bleed this system out. Of course, once you do it, then it's pretty much done until you take anything else apart on it. All right, so that brings us to the front here. We're going to loosen this one up. And we're going to pump. I'm going to do this until we get no air out of our system here. Looks like that's it there. We'll tighten it up. All right, very good. And they want us to do I, which is this one up here. They want to loosen that one up. So don't. Loosen that one up. Get our rag out here. Put a rag in there. Try to catch some of this. Ooh. The injector may not have had much air in it because we really didn't disturb it, but you want to just do this, and the last step here will be the actual feed to the injectors up here at the injectors. And we'll have to put the battery on so that we can crank it over, because the injector pump will have to spin around, turn inside there to get any air out of it. I'm thinking that looks pretty good there. Oop, go the right way there. Tighten that down. Ah, what a mess, man. Unfortunately, diesel fuel doesn't evaporate the way gasoline does. If this was gasoline, it would just evaporate and all would be well. Now the next step will be to go up here to the actual injectors and do those. So we're gonna have to put our battery back on. So we'll get this mess cleaned up, and then we'll come back and do that. So the next step in venting the system, our fuel system here, is we would loosen our high pressure connections here at each of the injectors. 3-cylinder, we have 3 injectors on it. You would loosen those up. You would turn on the fuel cutoff. You would put it on run, and you would open the throttle all the way open, and then you would crank the starter over until you get fuel squirting out of these, and there would be no air in here. I'm going to go ahead and try to start this thing just because we didn't have any of this part of it taken apart. So who knows? Maybe the thing will work. Maybe it'll fire up, and maybe it won't. If it doesn't fire up, then we'll go ahead and finish the process of venting the system. So the brake is locked. We have it out of gear. We have the cutoff to the run position. A little bit of throttle here. Let's see what happens. It's alive! Now we just want to check real quick about leaks. If we don't have any leaks, we're gonna open the door and we're gonna pull it out because we don't want to get gassed out in here. We're blowing some smoke there. We'll let him run for about a half an hour. Just get it all good and warmed up. Make sure we don't have any leaks in there. Our new system, our old system, or any of the system there. Sounds pretty good though. Sounds really good. If you're ever wondering, does the ram cylinder need to be bled? Does it have air in it perhaps? If your hitch does that, that's got a lot of air in it. That allows it to bounce. It's in the all the way down position now. And yeah, it's just a lot of movement there. So we'll bleed that system a little bit later. Come over here. Yeah, we don't really have any leaks around our steering column there. Or down below here where we put the gasket on there. We are warmed up into the run section. We got about 1,300 RPMs going on there maybe. Cold start system. There's no leaks there. The only leak that I've been able to find right here, coming down out of the end of the bolt to the canister that holds on the oil filter, which of course is something we didn't take apart this time around. So all in all, happy with what we achieved here. We won't know about the rear main seal until we run it for a while, and yeah. Cardan shaft and the quad seals, we'll know that a little bit later too. Although it wasn't leaking, it didn't look like when we took that apart. Damn it, it's a lot easier with two people in it.